Can you summarize in one sentence what you plan to do with the job?
Look, we had a discussion that night, and he gave me 3 rails. So three things he wants me to do. Number 1 is secure the border.
Yeah.
I'll shut the border down. Number 2, run the biggest deportation operation this country's ever seen. And third, he wants me to lead an effort to find the over 300,000 missing children that were trafficked into this country, and this administration cannot locate them.
You really need to see this conversation of Tom Holland as Donald Trump's new border czar. He sits down with Tucker Carlson for an epic interview. This will give you insights on how he plans to tackle the border situation to deport mass illegal immigrants and take care of the violence, drugs, and situation going on at the border. This is an incredible and important video for you, since this was the #1 issue that people voted for when voting for Trump last November for the presidential election. Here are the vital and key moments only as I break down this long-form interview. Check it out.
And how you plan to secure the border. The deportations, that was the second goal you had of 3. How many of those 12 million do you think are eligible, can be deported?
Oh, we know right now we got over 1.7 million with final orders of removal already been ordered removed that haven't been removed.
Okay, so that's just a gimme. That's easy.
We got 780,000 illegal aliens with criminal convictions. They're going to be priority 1. Then we got, like I said, we got criminals, national security threats, and fugitives. These are the ones I talked to 1.7, I think the last number was, of people who had due process, they get great tax expense, order removed. They need to go. We'll find them. Then we take the rest. I mean, everybody says, how many illegal aliens can you remove in a year? I don't know. I'll find out when I get into office, how many positions do I have? What does my money look like? How much money do I have to buy beds? Because we need detention beds. People don't change. You don't arrest somebody just deport them that day. We have to detain them and work out arrangements with their home country to get travel documents, and they have to accept that, yeah, they're a national of ours. And there's a process we go through anywhere from a few days to a few weeks. So we have to detain these people. So how many beds can I afford to buy? Because if I don't have beds, it's going to be hard to do this. How much money do I have with transportation contracts, whether over the ground or in the air? And can other agencies be involved? I know I specifically have requested that DOD be involved. They can do non-enforcement duty. What that does is, so the officers wearing a badge and gun with immigration authority, they shouldn't be driving a bus. They shouldn't be building infrastructure on the southwest border, south side facilities. They shouldn't be doing the intelligence. They shouldn't be doing the targeting, right? As much non-enforcement work as possible, contract that out, have DOD do a lot of it, and that releases those badges and guns to the street where they're really needed. So where other agencies are involved, is DOD going to be part of this, take off the non-enforcement duties off our shoulders? So hopefully I'll find out really fast what we have. I know right now, my sources at ICE, they're already $300 million in the hole. So I'm hoping Congress will provide us with a huge funding through the conciliation process. That's my hopes. And I know I talked to Lindsey Graham yesterday.
For deportation.
Yeah, Lindsey Graham yesterday said he's working on an astronomical bill. It'll be more money than we've ever seen before. I hope that's true. I just don't want to be held up in this tax bill, because that's going to take 6 or 8 months, and it gets watered down by the time we get it, and it's just ridiculous.
Is there some legal way to designate Americans just for a temporary period as Ukrainians and just tell the Congress that money is going to Ukrainians?
Wouldn't that be great?
That would expedite it, don't you think? Here's $200 billion.
They're spending money defending the Ukrainian border, but it'd be nice if they give us just a piece of that, actually, because they got a lot of money. I'm hoping and praying that this is going to be different than the first Trump administration when he had the Senate and the House the first 2 years. I'm hoping they come to the table and help this president succeed. So funding is paramount. We're only going to be as successful as the funding we're given to get this job done.
Well, I'm no expert, but I know members of Congress, most of them, and I know that they only respond to pain, unfortunately. And you just have to threaten them, and you're going to lose your seat, and we're going to call you out by name and make you unpopular in your state, and your career will be over unless you obey immediately. Because normal people, you can reason with normal people, and love motivates people. I mean, I doubt, like, in your house, you and your wife are threatening each other. You probably love each other, saying nice things to each other. But members of Congress are not normal people, and you really just have to, grab them by the face and say, do this or suffer, and they will respond to that. So I hope you will do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of media outlets right now. I think they're trying to shame us in how expensive this operation is going to be. It's just incredible.
More expensive than letting in 12 million people and giving
exactly
doctors and free medical care.
And actually
running your hospitals. Yeah.
First of all, what price do you put on national security? What price do you put on Laken Riley's life and so many other little girls? It's going to be cost savings for American people. Right now, we're spending billions of dollars on free airline ticket, free hotel room, not even mention the cost of schools and trauma centers and hospitals and social services, in perpetuity. Yeah, it's going to be expensive.
Well, they destroyed rural America. I mean, just flat out. I live there.
It'll be expensive right out the gate, but in the long run, we're going to save American taxpayers billions of dollars by getting this country back to the rule of law.
What's the point of a government except to ensure safety and tranquility for its people. I mean, what is the point other than to obviously kick out Assad and secure the borders of Ukraine, which are the top priorities, I think, listed in the Constitution. But after that, taking care of your own people seems to be important also.
Well, that's why President Trump won this election. He's put America first. That's why I came. Look, this is the second time I came back from retirement to serve this president because, like I said, I've been doing this a long time, and I'm at a point now where I wake up every day pissed off. The first day I woke up with a smile on my face was the day after the election because I knew we can fix this. I knew by fixing it, you save lives. Secure borders save lives.
Yep.
Right? Even when you get 100% of the agents on the line doing their job, rather than changing diapers, making baby formula, like hospital runs, more fentanyl seized, which means less fentanyl deaths. Less gotaways, which means less sex trafficking, women, children, less non-suspected terrorists. Even the wall saves lives. And people say, oh, Trump's vanity wall. No, that's America's wall, first of all. Every place they built a border barrier, illegal immigration reduced, illegal drug flow reduced. What more people want to talk about is how many lives it saves. The most vulnerable of those that come to the country, women and children, can't get over that wall, which means they're going to a place where there's not a wall. And what's waiting on them? The men and women wearing that green uniform, the finest 1% this country has, who are going to take care of their medical needs first because they're in a lot of bad shape when they get there. Men and women of the Border Patrol save thousands of lives every year.
So, as we can see, Tom Holland says that there are already 2.4 million immigrants who qualify easily based upon their criminal status, that they can be deported fast, first, and immediately. That's approximately 20% out of the 14 million that potentially can be gone in the flick of a Thanos click. Tom also talks about the financial restraints that the border ICE agents have been put under in the last couple of years. They're running essentially at a deficit. But he also explains that since there's all of this money that miraculously becomes available to send overseas for wars, there is money that can be used to tackle this situation very easily. They also mentioned that it doesn't matter how expensive this is. It's tremendously less than the cost that it has as an expense of just allowing this to continue across the country. But he says no matter what the facts are, one fact is true is that Trump is president and he's happy of this because he knows the problem can be fixed now. Border security saves lives undoubtedly. If you're enjoying this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you like this video and continue watching. Let's get back to the video.
How about taking care of the homeless people in that city? Let them get on the warming bus. But, they'd rather put these illegal aliens in a hotel room at $500 a night in the Roosevelt Hotel in New York City and give them 3 meals a day and give them free medical care rather than take care of their own people. We got homeless vets. You've been to Washington, D.C. many times. Less than a mile from the Capitol, we got homeless vets living in tents. They don't have a free hotel room. They don't get a hot shower. They don't get 3 squares a day. They don't get, they don't have access to free medical care. But you got people who are in the country illegally get all that stuff.
Well, yeah. And they also, this is a democracy. So we make decisions based on population size. And if you dilute the population, you dilute the political power of the people who are born here, very much including Black people. So really, it's a takeover of our government, of our democratic system. And I just want to say it for the third time, it completely disenfranchises Black people. And they're, Black leaders in Congress who supposedly speak for Black people, they sold them right out, actually, in fact.
And then the violence in these communities, and we're trying to address the violence. Mayor Adams finally gets it, I think, but we'll see what he actually does. But there's a mayor of Chicago. Chicago, the crime rate is extremely high in Chicago, right? We know the shootings are outrageous. And what we're saying to him, President Trump and myself have been very clear. We want to prioritize those illegally in the country that are public safety threats. That's what we want to target first because they're the most dangerous to our community. Public safety threats and national security threats. Why would any elected mayor of a city with a crime rate as high as you have not want public safety threats taken out of their communities, especially if they're here illegally? There's no, you would think the mayor of Chicago's number one responsibility is the safety of his community. Why not help me take those public safety threats out of the community? ICE agents aren't allowed to take a step into Cook County Jail, one of the biggest county jails in the country, where we used to get hundreds of illegal alien criminals out. We can't even step foot in that. They won't honor an ICE detainer. They much rather release that public safety threat back in the community to reoffend. And where is he likely to reoffend? The immigrant community where he lives.
But I don't understand. I mean, so when South Carolina tried this in 1861 at Fort Sumter, it kicked off a civil war. When Central High School tried this in 1957 in Little Rock, Arkansas, Eisenhower sent the 101st Airborne. You can't allow states to ignore federal law. I'm trying not to use the F word here. So how is that not an act of insurrection? I don't understand. If a mayor or a governor says, we're going to ignore federal law, there's nothing you can't come into our facility how about you get a SEAL team and go to the, I mean, like, how is that allowed? That is insurrection.
And
Am I missing something? I thought this is the way the system worked.
that's why I've been out there taking a lot of hate in the last 3 weeks, saying, okay, well,
You're taking hate from the insurrectionists?
yeah, which I'll wear as a badge of honor. I've been out there saying one thing to the mayor of Denver, right? To the mayor of Chicago, and to Governor Pritzker and the rest of them. You cannot help. You can choose not to help us, stand aside, because we're going to do it. However, there's a line you can't cross. If you're going to impede what we're doing, that's a felony. If you're going to knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien from ICE agents, USC 1324 to apply, that's a felony. And we will prosecute. We're done playing the game. There are federal statutes on the books, written by Congress, enacted by Congress, signed by a president, said this is a felony to do these things. And we're going to take that seriously. And we got a strong AG coming in Pam Bondi. I think we'll back me up on this. You can help. You can sit aside and watch us do your work for you. Fine, you do it. But here's a message. No one's asking you to be immigration officers. What we're asking is give us access to the taxpayer-funded jail where you already locked somebody in a jail cell because apparently they're a public safety threat. When you're done with them, simply give them to us. And we're removing not only from the community, from the country. Because when you don't, and here's what they're going to get. They're going to get exactly what they don't want by taking a stance. You don't let me in jail arrest a bad guy where one agent can arrest a bad guy in the safety and security of a county jail where we know he don't have access to weapons. You're going to release him back in the community. You're endangering the community, the immigrant community, because most likely to reoffend in that community. You're endangering our officers, and you're endangering that alien because things could happen when you're making arrests in a public setting. We have access to who knows what weapons, right? So what's Tom Holland going to do? We're going to send more agents to the community. We're going to find a guy. So that means I got to send a whole team to the community to find him. We send a team because of officer safety concerns. I'm going to send a whole team to find him. When we find him, he's probably going to be with others. Others that are not necessarily an operational priority. But guess what? ICE agents are going to be told to turn their back on any illegal alien. So we're going to find the bad guy and anybody else around him. So by your actions and not letting me in that county jail means more agents in your neighborhood, a lot more agents in your neighborhood, and a lot more arrests, and many non-priority arrests. You want to play the game, we're going to play the game. That's the result you're going to get. But I can't believe.
Tom Holland has said this before and reiterates in this interview with Tucker Carlson that he's not going to take any crap from any mayors of any sanctuary cities who plan to hide illegal immigrants who are status to be deported from the country. He says any plan to be in the way of this is a felony and could lead to possible arrests of these government officials. He is not playing. And he has said this and reiterated this before in another interview. I'm confident that moving forward, we're going to see a lot of things being done with the border. We're going to see things at record numbers, undoubtedly. There's going to be tremendous things that are done that are going to be in line with what Tom Holland is saying and what Donald Trump has promised and the reason why you voted for him. And believe it or not, this will have incredible and beneficial economic benefits to our society as we move forward. Listen, I'm Mr. Rembrandt, and I hope you like this video. I'll keep you updated on politics and border and even things psychological and psychology, biology. And check out other videos that I have. Also have a podcast with some interesting guests. A lot of things coming for the future. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. See you in the next video. I'm Mr. Rembrandt.